And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It is, April 2nd, 2026. Thursday. We're off tomorrow. It'll be the best of Gary. Happy Passover. Those who are celebrating Easter, happy Easter, and all that. Lots to cover today, as always. And I'm going to say something controversial about the market today. And I'll explain why it's controversial too. But in case you don't know, this is serious talk on everything that affects you. We'll do the markets, the economy, your job, your industry, the war, tariffs, the Morlocks in D.C. Both sides of the aisle suck. 39 trillion says so. And let's see. Last night the president spoke. We'll comment on that and all the other crap that's going on. And if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our X feed. And if you don't follow us on X, you should. You just put our name in. If you'd like to email us, just be nice. Do you know I never block people on Twitter? I blocked like 2 or 3 people in the last few days. I can't debate stupid, you know? Remember what I said about tic-tac-toe? You can never win, so why even playing the game? If you whatever, you get my point. But let's do things in order. Number one, we really like Illinois versus Connecticut in the Final Four. And we've been riding Michigan the whole tournament. That is one tough game. Michigan at Arizona. I am going to just close my eyes and say Michigan again. But that is one tough game. Illinois, Michigan for the Final Four. As you know, we were 10-1 in the NFL and the NCAA final game, because we're damn good when it comes to these important games. We've been doing it for years for you guys. Big time for years. 10-1. You know how many emails I got from people thanking me? You're all a bunch of gamblers. Anyway, Illinois, Michigan. If I was to favor a bet, Illinois. Let's move on. In the news, Pam Bondi was fired today by the president. Supposedly it was a friendly fire. My opinion, we haven't had a Justice Department in forever. Just so you know, a Department of Justice led by the Attorneys General, I hate saying it, that Attorneys General are supposed to be even-handed. Bondi, completely not even-handed. The Yuts under Biden, completely not even-handed. We're at the point where our Department of Justice goes after the enemy, and doesn't matter what the friends do, they get away with it. It's just like this president pardoning, I think it's like 20 people. They created a commission to fight fraud, while he pardoned like 20 or 30 white-collar criminals that don't have to pay the restitution, and just so happened to give millions to the Trump super PACs. Do you realize that every one of those people are going to be subpoenaed when the House and Senate go to the Democrats come January? It's disgusting. And again, it's not just the Trump administration. Biden was a horror show too. They targeted all the Republicans. They were playing with phones. And you know what they did to Trump? My favorite thing, what they went to after Trump, the doofus running New York, whatever her name is, said Mar-a-Lago was only worth like $10 million or $15 million. So Trump lied about it to get bigger loans. Mar-a-Lago's got to be worth $250 million, if not more. So they targeted Trump. And of course, Trump's targeting them back. Don't you just love that? Okay, we're done with that. And by the way, Pam Bondi was a great attorney general for Florida. She sucked under Trump in that no even-handedness. They did great things on crime. Murder rates down, all that's great. I'm loving it. But until a Department of Justice comes in and is even-handed, they all suck. Next. I wrote this 4 letters down. Just letting you know because I get asked about it often. Tesla, down another $21 today. Going deeper into its bear market. I just want to let you know because it's been a favorite of pundits, the analysts, and, I was saying to you, I just want to let you know that the numbers out of Tesla have been terrible. Deliveries terrible. Getting beaten by other electric vehicles, whatever. Anyway, they reported deliveries. It disappointed. Down 14% from last quarter. So just another bear market. On top of all the other bear markets we've told you about. I just wanted to mention that. Next, I just want to let you know Amazon is now adding a 3.5% fuel and logistics surcharge to sellers on Amazon. Just letting you know. Next. The president's speech last night, I just thought it was just repeating himself. And if I had a recommendation to the president, take a couple of days off. He looks very tired. And I don't blame, that's not a put down. The hours he puts in and the travel, take a couple of days off. Seriously. Just saying. And again, that's not a put down. So he didn't say anything different. The only thing consistent about the president with the war is his inconsistency on his verbiage. Today again, if Iran doesn't, well, we're going to knock the living, and he said the S word, not crap, the living blank out of them. And then the next thing, he's all over the map, okay, on the war. Now, the market. I said to my peeps today, if you were to tell me that oil prices would be up a whopping $11 and change today, it was up 12, finished up 11 and a quarter. I would have said the Dow's down 1,000 and the Nasdaq's down 500. Seriously. And on the open today, the Dow was down 600 points. On the open. On the open today, the Nasdaq was down. Whoa, I didn't even realize that. The Nasdaq, give me a sec, was down about 460 points right at the open. You got me so far? Right at the open. The Dow finished down a measly 61 points, even with oil up $11. The Nasdaq finished up 38. Nasdaq 100 finished up 25. What gives? I have no clue. One of our main mottos, it's not the news, it's how things react to the news. I thought today was a fantastic day for the market, even with the Dow down and the S&P and Nasdaq hardly up. In relation to $11 in oil? Does somebody know something that's going to take oil back down over the weekend or next week? I don't know. Is oil maybe just doing a climactic move and it's going to top out soon and come straight down just like silver did? I don't know. All I can tell you, I thought it was a fantastic day today, considering oil prices. Up next, we'll continue with my thoughts on the markets and whatever else. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And the person they're putting in interim for Bondi is worse than her. And again, it doesn't matter who they put in. They act as the attorney for the president, and they're not supposed to. They're supposed to be even-handed Department of Justice. And we just don't get that anymore. It's revenge, and more revenge. And guess, mark this down. Come January, if they win in November, I guess they get all the crap January. There's going to be subpoenas throughout the land, taking the fifth 1,000 times, impeachment guaranteed, and who knows what the hell else. Why? Because the Democratic Party sucks also. They got nothing to offer. They're a bunch of doofuses. If you think about it, they lost the presidency to Donald Trump, somebody who keeps saying he won the election in 2020. That's how bad the Democrat Party is. And now Maine is talking about a millionaire tax. Washington, they're the stupidest people on earth. They're so stupid. If you're a millionaire, I think that, what do they do, 9%? If you're a millionaire in Washington, let's say you're very successful, you made a great business, you built a great business, and you make $3 million a year. Well, on that first million, you're probably paying, probably paying $350,000, 35%, maybe a little lower than that. So what does Washington do? Well, everything above $1 million, take that 35 and put another 9 on there. Thank you. They're insane. Why? People are going to leave. If I lived I live in Florida. If I made $3 million a year and DeSantis put a 9% whatever on me, above $1 million, see ya. I'll be in Georgia or North Carolina or something, or wherever. If I made $3 million, I'm going to give you an extra $180,000 a year for you to piss away. Just remember, government, they're not efficient. They're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. Back on the Republicans, Trump wants $1.5 trillion Defense Department for this next year. 1.5. Our whole budget in 2000 was 1.8. By the way, in 2000 we were 300 billion. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And you know me. First thing a leader's supposed to do is defend the country. Not at 1.5 trillion. Anyway, we move on. So, want you to listen carefully. Fantastic day. With oil prices up 11. Oh, and by the way, they jammed it a little bit into the close. Why not? In fact, the NASDAQ, let's see, the last... give me once. Yeah, the NASDAQ went up 100 points in the last 10 minutes. Nah, 70. In the last 8 minutes. 70 points, boom. and they jammed it. So I mentioned to you the semiconductors. Had a very good day. The semiconductor index opened the day at 75.05. It finished at 78.33, up 31. It was down 300 points. Bottomed at 9.45, and they ripped it to the upside till about 10.40, and pretty much flatlined the rest of the day with a little downside, then upside at the end of the day. Dudes, I'm getting a little bit excited on specific areas. So I mentioned the semis, but I can tell you a lot of them do not look very good. And this has nothing to do with NVIDIA or Broadcom and some others. But then I have mentioned to you this artificial intelligence, glamour names. I use the word glamour. That's what they use. They're what is known as the strong growth names. I'm just going to throw you symbols to look at over the weekend. We're not telling you to buy, sell, short, or cover. But this is the leadership. And when I say leadership, go take a chart of Nike. Go do one of ADP. Go do one of Lululemon. And then, side by side, put these names. Charts. You ready? Strongest, LITE. By the way, that's under fiber optics. Close to that, SNDK, SanDisk, data storage, SNDK. Corning, GLW, electronic products, opticals, and crap. Sienna, as strong as LITE, fiber optics. How about Applied Optoelectronics, AAOI, fiber optics. Coherent Electronics. Fabrinet Electronics. GE Vernova, the energy power system crap. Tower Semiconductor, TSEM. Vertiv, VRT. Just go look up. Then you got Seagate, STX, Western Digital, WDC in memory, and they look like they were ready for the basement on Monday, and boy, they just came back nice. I got a few more. New high on Sphere. I've mentioned that to you. Well, they were slamming it back down because of the crappy market. And in the last 3 days, right back to the highs, and they jumped on it today. Volume was not heavy, but new yearly highs on the Sphere. SPHR. That's away from that area. And there's a few semiconductors that are stronger than others. Some are weaker. But my main point, that list of glamour names is sore thumbs right now. Check them out. Up next, more on these markets and whatever else. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. Again, we are not telling you to buy, sell, short, or cover. We're just giving you an idea where the strength is in the market. In a market that does not have a lot of strength. I just scanned 1,500 names. My legal pad has about 3, 8, 9, 60 names on it. Does not include the oils. All the oils have been strong. They weren't that strong today with oil up $12 though. Yeah, about 64, 11, 12, 13, 14, 22, Yeah, let's call it 60. And what are these 60? Stocks that have better relative strength, above moving averages, some stronger than others. That's all. That's all I have. Now, there's some other names, though, that are what I call don't trade a lot, subpar. When I said 60, I think those are the standouts. How's that? 60. Which I don't know can carry the market too far. But dang, today, what if oil was flat today? Would the market have been up 1,000 points? I ask myself these questions. So the artificial intelligence, optical storage, memory, and all that crap that was getting slaughtered on Monday, 3 days of screw you to the sellers and the short sellers, of course. In mega cap land, there's really nothing going on. Some bounces here and there, but just a lot of weak. And one of those was Tesla. Dell, decent shape. Costco getting better. The story I heard, who was it? Sam's Club, owned by Walmart, is raising their fee for membership. And I guess they think maybe Costco can do the same. And I read somewhere, I haven't checked on this, but I read that supposedly Costco's profits are memberships. And that's how they keep prices the way they are. So I'm told. So again, the indices, much ado about nothing, but a great comeback from the open in the face of $11 oil. Wow. Now we have to bring up Iran. What has my interest is oil spiked today, even though Iran announced that they're coming up with some deal with the European countries to be able to go through the strait. And I would have think oil would have tanked on that news. So maybe that's the shape of things to come. I do not know. It's just something that I got in the file manager. And maybe something good's going to happen over the 3-day weekend to tell us why the market completely ignored a big spike in oil prices today. And let me repeat, if I did not watch the market and did not know anything, and somebody said, hey, Gar, oil was up $11 and change today, I would have said, what, Dow down 1,000, NASDAQ down 500? Not. So maybe the market's looking at something else. The president's talking tariffs again. I'm going to throw up. The president had some of his minions out today saying, oh, it's a year before from Liberation Day, and we told you nothing bad would happen. What a bunch of liars. What a bunch of frickin' liars. I just want to make sure when you watch these liars tell you we told you so, they're liars. Absolute, look in the camera and lie to your face. They're political. Liberation Day caused the market to drop 10% in 2 days. Commerce was stalling. It's a known fact that auto companies said we ain't delivering. Amazon said they're stopping delivering because who the hell's paying 150% tariffs? The reason why Liberation Day didn't hurt anything is because they took it off the next week. So be careful about the administration's liars. I can't tell you how much that pisses me off. It's so tiring, these political class just lying. Moving on. Netflix. Watch that one. The stock went into a brutal bear market. Had a good move off the lows when I guess they decided not to buy that big frickin' company. Ran up to $100 quick and now spending about 5 weeks backing up a little bit. It looks like it may be headed, if it breaks through that 100 cleanly on volume, something to look at. We don't own it yet. And the story is Netflix is raising their prices again. All these streaming companies are raising their prices. And they're getting away with it. So Netflix is a big name better, but still 30% off the highs. Now let's call it 25% off the highs of last June. That's Netflix. And other big names is just not much going on in there and all that stuff. So I'm perplexed. I'm confused about today. That oil can go up that much and the market shrugged it off by the end of the day. But markets don't care about me and what I think. And fact is, I'm a big believer in not the news but the reaction. And that's why I said to you at the outset, dang, that fantastic day today considering. And considering we opened up down 600 and almost 500 on the NASDAQ. And the SOX 300, and that finished up. I think that tells you a lot you need to know. Going into next week. Of course, who knows what the news is going to be. There's talk about, well, the president saying, if you don't deal with us, we're going to annihilate you. And Iran has said, go screw yourself. Iran's making fun of our president, by the way. They're putting out cartoons, the changing of... You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, what can I tell you? What else do we got for you on this Thursday? I'm going to leave the rest alone as far as the president's concerned. I'm going to give him a little grace here for the day. I think we've critiqued him enough. And he's very critiquable, of course. May I state for the record. Big indices remain below the 200-day moving average. It feels like after today, it feels like they may be able to get it back, notwithstanding things worsening and all that. I think today's an important day. I think the last 2 days was big oversold rally after getting way down. For me, today is more important than the last 2 days. Being able to defend, have the semis come on, the leading stocks really lead today. There's plenty of things that were down on the day. But advanced declines that were a horror show at the beginning of the day, 26.19 on the New York, 27.19 on the NASDAQ. So improvement. Not out of the woods. There are plenty of areas to avoid. I still say about 65-70% of the market. But call me very impressed today. We'll see what next week decides to bring. Up next, we'll take you to the 3-day weekend. This is the one only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. There's a lot of questions about the economy. All things considered, I'll give it an okay. There's plenty out there that say we're going into recession, we're going to crash, big bout of inflation. Then you got from the president and his people, golden age. I'm just letting you know, it's okay. That's all. Nothing special. It's just okay. But not the job market. That's a big worry. Oracle sent out a 6 a.m. email, up to 30,000 people gone. I believe that's 18%. I read that, of their workforce. The story goes, and Oracle wouldn't say it, they did it because got a lot of debt for this AI crap and we need whatever. And you've had others. 4,000 here, 8,000 here. I do believe the artificial intelligence thing could be quite meaningful going forward. So I want to get back to what I said years ago on this show. The greatest advice I can ever give to each and every one of you that does not own their business. Wherever you work, wherever, become indispensable at your firm. You know what that means? Know your business back and forth like you're the owner. Become a genius at your business. Spend a little extra time at your business. Learn from the best people at your business. Be dependable as can be, to where if ever your business decides to cut down, they ain't going near you because you're indispensable. Simple as that. And I have to tell you, I worry about the software industry on the things I'm reading, and I'm learning even more because I'm a doofus, about how the job gets done through AI, coding in record time that usually would take months and months and plenty of people. I think the management consulting business, I think that has a chance of being pared back. Also, I can tell you in the market, they have destroyed things like Intuit, which is financial software. I'm just telling you what the market has done. These software security stocks kicked in the teeth. I read somewhere this thing called Claude. That's C-L-A-U-D-E. Whoever called it that name, well, that can do the job much better than the peeps. So what you really should be doing is looking up all this stuff and getting a better understanding for your industry, and make sure you are indispensable. If you own, you're cool. I stopped working for people a long time ago. Best thing I ever did. Putting my life in somebody else's hands. best thing I ever did. That's why the word entrepreneur, you all should think about it. Owning. I've read many a person that worked at a certain industry, certain firm, did it themselves. I'm not going to say who, but somebody in my family years ago worked for one of these, it's the outsourcing of legal stuff. And they thought that the company they worked for mishandled, didn't do it right, didn't do it well, started their own. I think they just sold it for like $50 million. Outside legal, you have a bunch of attorneys and you hire them and that type of stuff. That's out there. Said it's the best thing she ever did. So just some food for thought. I was thinking about it today because I keep reading about people getting canned. And the big excuse now is, yeah, well, we're kind of like, artificial intelligence this thing, okay? Is that okay with you? It's never okay. Anybody losing a job. And that's that. Next week, well, not next week, but the week after, starts earnings season. I'm told earnings supposed to be good. That's what I'm told. When is this higher oil price going to get into that? Well, that's going to be a lot of guidance from companies. And that's what we're going to be watching closely. Have a great 3-day weekend. I'm flying out. Drive carefully. When you get home, do like we do. Quite simple. Make sure you hug your family and hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise. Stay well. Be well. Peace out all. Good night.